Hi, Primas. I'm Roxy,
And I'm Giselle.
and this is the For Las Primas podcast. Welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Okay, Primas. So we did a thing. We packed our maletas, we boarded a flight, and we landed in Puerto Rico. Not only for the beaches, not only for the mofongo, but for El Conejo.
That's right, Benito himself. And let me tell you, we may not be Puerto Rican, but that weekend we felt like honorary Boricuas.
And that's the magic, right? The way Bad Bunny makes you feel at home, even when it's not technically your isla. Because as Cubanas, there's so much we share with Puerto Ricans: the music, the flavor, the struggle, and the Caribbean pride that just doesn't translate in English.
So today we're going to recap it all: the chisme, the chaos, the outfits, and the deeper stuff too, like what it means to be from the diaspora and to go back somewhere that isn't technically ours, but still feels like familia.
This episode is for Las Primas who crossed the islands for Benito, and for anyone who knows that being Latina means every Caribbean beat hits in your DNA. So let's get into it.
That's so true. Another trigger warning and disclaimer, I'm nasally again.
Giselle's sick again. She lost her voice at Bad Bunny and she's never gotten it back.
Hasn't returned yet, but let me tell you, it was worth it.
What? I don't even know where to start. Okay. I just, first of all, we're back. It's been a while since we've had an episode together. So it's
Oh,
nice to see you, G.
I know, it's nice to record, like, we're back to us.
Back to us. We do have some great interviews ahead, but it is nice when it's just us two.
Yeah.
Um, how does it feel, the post Puerto Rico blues? Because I've got
I
them so bad.
I know. It is a lot, and I keep rewatching the videos of the concert and just, like, shedding a little tear because it was so good.
No, I have watched every video. I am not exaggerating, at least 6 times, and there's 134 videos in our shared album or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
get tired of watching it. Every time I watch it, it's like I'm getting back the feeling of
Mm.
what I felt in the moment of watching it live.
Also, I watched the video and then I get sad that it ended, but I know, like, in the moment, I was thinking, "I'm only gonna record a little bit because I wanna be in the moment," and then now I'm, like, looking back and I'm like, "Debí tirar más foto." So, how do you feel being in Puerto Rico since it was your first time?
Yeah, I felt very at home. The people are so warm there. I just love the culture. I love the food. I do think we were in a very touristy area. It felt like the US in Puerto Rico, like Church's Chicken and like all these random
Yeah.
places that you can eat at, that I was like, this is so out of place and like weird that it's here. Um, so I think I was expecting something maybe a little bit different. I was wanting it to feel more Latin America vibes. Like
Mm.
when I went to Colombia, it was like such a different experience. Like you were in another country. And I know that Puerto Rico is technically like a territory of the United States. And so it makes sense that there would be comercios and like different things from the US there, like Walgreens and different stores and corporations. But I wasn't expecting it to feel so heavy handed, I think, from the
Mhm.
onset.
Yeah, that's how I
But
feel.
I did love Viejo San Juan. Like Viejo San Juan gives me like a lot of Cuba vibes, and I loved the every street you walk down, there's all these little shops or
Mhm.
bars. There's always music. You can hear music at any point of the day. Um, but it was freaking hot. Que calor.
It
Que
was.
calor.
We were like traditional old ladies with our hand fans, with our abanicos, like, everywhere. It was a must. If you guys are going to Puerto Rico, you need to bring one of those.
Yes, I completely agree. Um,
Plus, the one
but
that you got was, like, massive, and it just, like, it fanned everybody in its vicinity.
I was, like, fanning myself, fanning Giselle, fanning the girls, it was so hot, and then you get really hot from the act of fanning. Then I saw a lot of people that had portable fans, like electric
Oh,
fans.
yeah.
I was thinking to myself, wow, at no point thought of that. I was like, "Oh, I need like un abanico, like an old school one." But yeah, it was very hot, and a lot of people were there for the concert. It was very busy. There was a lot of traffic everywhere we went. There was a lot of just, yeah, people everywhere, and there was a lot of people there for the concert.
Did you feel like that on your flight too?
My flight was so full.
It was so full and it was 100% everybody from the concert.
Mhm.
And on the way home, everybody's wearing their merch.
All the way to Denver, there was a girl with a
Ah,
pava on.
oh my god, girl, she didn't take that off. Good for her,
She
the
didn't take it
commitment.
off.
It probably didn't fit in her luggage. She's like,
So
"I
she
gotta
just
wear
wore
it."
it. A
That's
baba is like
awesome.
a baba is like a traditional, like, jibaro hat, which is, like, traditional Puerto Rican custom countryside wear. I don't know how to describe it in any other way, but they're these big hats, and they're open. So, there was a guy with a baba in front of one of the girls who was with us, and in all her videos, you can see, like, the little
Oh,
pieces of
yeah.
straw of the hat. Um,
I
but
know,
yeah,
the minute that person sat down, one of our friends was like, "This is gonna be a problem."
um But yeah, the concert itself, we got there early, there's stuff to do outside. I love that it wasn't just you go to the show like you do any concert, and maybe you, like, pregame at a bar, and then you, like, make your way there. The pregame was outside of the stadium where the concert took place.
Yeah, the DJ that was out there, I felt like was so good, like, was
So
playing
good.
great music. Be prepared to stand in lines if you're going because we stood in lines basically for everything, but it didn't feel so bad because the DJ was playing music, so we're just kinda, like, dancing and, like, it's a vibe, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Everybody is dressed up. That was another thing I thought
Yes.
was so cool, that was so different about this experience and this concert versus, like, you wear, like, whatever to a concert and mostly sneakers. Not here.
Pero niña, because somos Latino, we're not gonna show up like that.
The women were gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Every girl that walked by, I was just like, "I love your dress. Oh my god, I love your shoes. Oh my god, I love your earrings. I love everything. You look so good." Everybody looks so
Everybody
good.
looks so good.
Yeah. And it was raining, but the party did not stop. It was raining, and we put ponchos on, and we just kept going.
Yeah. A lot of people have ponchos.
Mm,
We were prepared to continue the party regardless of what the situation is. There could have been a hurricane and we would have still been out there.
sort of yep, yep,
Maybe
there
that's
was
why I lost my voice.
the rain, you got catarro because of the rain.
'Cause my
Um,
hair got wet.
yeah, so the outside was really fun, there was different vendor, there was, like, a lot of sponsors, T-Mobile sponsored, Medalla sponsored, which for those of you who've never had a Medalla, it's the light beer of Puerto Rico. Our first day there, I probably had 15 medallas. Easily, easily. It was so hot, and I just couldn't stop drinking this beer the whole time I was there. I love it. I'm like a new medalla
Yeah.
girl. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a fan.
I'm like, "Sponsor me, please."
Yeah.
Um, so the outside was great, and what I loved too is, like, I didn't feel like there was any beef. Like, sometimes when people are drinking, there's big
Mhm.
crowds, there'll be, like, a fight, or there'll be people that are annoyed. No one was annoyed at making a line. Also,
Mhm.
I think a lot of TikTokers who have gone before us have prepared us for what to
Mhm.
expect as well, so it wasn't like we didn't know what to expect. Um, so that's why we're hoping to help other people who are going prepare for what to expect. Um, but yeah, it was such a good vibe. Everybody was so friendly, like
Mm-mm. Even with making lines too, I feel like people get impatient, but there was none of that tension in the air. Everybody was, like, excited and, dancing, and we were even in the line thinking like, I can't wait to see what's inside, like, what's inside this place, you know?
Then once you got in the line to go inside, it really wasn't bad. We didn't wait in line that long, maybe like
Mhm.
15 minutes to get inside. So it wasn't bad. Once we were in, it was so cold.
Oh my
It
God,
was
un
so cold.
frío.
If it was hot outside, it was even colder than how hot it felt outside, inside.
Well, you
Insane.
know, like, I seen influencers say it's cold in Italy, and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's cold in Italy, like, the AC's on." Like, "No, you guys, it's cold in the Choli."
It was so cold.
Yeah, it was cold here.
Remember at what point I looked at you, I was like, "I have to shave my legs again tomorrow because all my hair grew back." I'm just so
Yeah, I
cold.
remember that.
I feel like everything that could go wrong for me that day did,
Mm.
except for none of it ruined my mood. Like, the moment I went to the bathroom in El Choli, I got my period, and I was like, right now, I wasn't even mad. I didn't even care that that I had cramps. I was like, "Benito, lo voy a dar todo aquí."
You have
I
to.
came all the way
She
here
was
for this moment.
like, "I'm coming because I'm not missing Bad Bunny either."
Yeah, my period's like, "Yo tampoco, yo no me lo puedo perder." Nobody wanted to miss this concert, not even my period, okay? But
Um,
it was so magical. To people who don't maybe understand or don't get it, they're like, "Oh, okay, like, it's a concert." It was so much more than a concert. It was this collective of people coming together in one place, and the same feelings that Bad Bunny has, or that nostalgia that he has for the past of his own country, we can all feel that either we or our families have had that nostalgia for leaving their country and not wanting to leave, but being forced to leave. And the diaspora is such a nostalgic collective feeling that was so beautiful. It was a sold out stadium of people singing these songs, crying, dancing, laughing. It's an energy that was palpable, and it's not repeatable. Like, I'm
um,
sure for him every night it even feels different because different people bring different vibes, but gosh, it was so magical. That's all I can say is magical.
some people just don't understand, like, this is just another concert, but it's really not. He's making such a statement, like, you're selling out in Choli, which is historically known to not sell out, and artists don't go because they lose money performing at the Choli, and he sold it out every single show, making people come to Puerto Rico, putting more money into the country. It's just like it's a whole thing. This is, like, gonna go down in history.
Totally, and I think about how many street vendors we bought stuff from, that they're
Mhm,
just everyday Puerto Rican people working to, like, make their jewelry or sus artesanías, whatever that looks like, you know, and we're there buying it because we wanna
mhm,
support them and we wanna support the businesses. I didn't know that about the Choli. The Choli is the Coliseum, is the stadium that they play at, but they call it the Choli. And he's playing 30 shows. So he's doing it for 10 weekends, 3 nights a week. He's putting more money into the economy of Puerto Rico. And then every week he brings out someone new. So there's like this element of surprise too, of like, who's it gonna be? What artist is it gonna be? And so we missed Evie Queen by one night, but we got Fade. We got Fade. I was dying. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe I was there. So speaking about phones, my phone died one third into the concert. And I was like, this is a sign. This is a sign that I need to take it in. This is a sign that I need to be here because everybody is just filming with their phones. And I
mm,
know that, like, I love watching the videos. I'm glad, like, our friend was able to take videos and you were able to take videos. But there's something too about just taking in the moment, right?
yeah,
And
for sure.
dancing and feeling it.
When Fade came out, we were, like, screaming for 5 minutes because we were processing. You know what's funny is when I look back at the video, the stadium is green. Everything is green.
I do not remember that.
I'm like, it was a clear sign that this man was coming, and we were just, like, in such disbelief. Like, when Perro Negro started playing, I was like, "No, no, it can't be, it can't
That's
be."
right! That's right! And then he has his bandana on, and there's a video where Giselle's like, "But he has that bandana on, how do we know it's him?" And I'm like, "It's him! It's him!"
Yeah, that was a moment, it was so good.
Ugh,
Manifested it because when you were telling me that, I was like, "There's no way Fade is gonna come out." I'm like,
'cause he's not
"Nah."
Puerto Rican too, he's not Puerto
Yeah.
Rican.
I was like,
So
that's a" I was like, "Yeah, that's a pipe dream." But it would be nice, you know? It'd be great if he came, but nah, I don't think it'll be him.
ugh, it was just so magical, and, like, the beginning of the concert starts with, like it's like a show, almost like a Broadway show or something where they're, like, acting, and then the music starts, and everybody's in traditional garments looking on our side where we were at. If you look to the left, it's like a mountain countryside scene, and that's where, like, all the traditional dancing and people were dressed like jibaros and, like, the sounds of Puerto Rico, the salsa and the slow songs, that's where he played that, and then to the right, there's a little house, and the house is very like a traditional house in Puerto Rico, and that's where the party was.
That house actually exists in
Oh,
Puerto Rico, and there's some girl on TikTok who is the neighbor to that house, and it's
does
in the
he own
mountains.
it?
I don't know if it's, like, ba where he grew up or what, but, like, she's like, "This is la casita," and it's, like, in the mountains, and it's, like, deep in there, but, like, there's a clear view to la casita, and I was like, "Oh my god, interesting."
I didn't know it was real.
It's a
I didn't
real
know it was
house.
and there's, like, a lot of people in the house, which was kind of I was stressed for him at times because there were so many people, I was like, "Is that, like, annoying that you're, like, bunched up?" But the whole point is that it's a house party,
Yeah.
and you're, like, with your friends in the concert, and then he goes on top of La Casita, and he's dancing on top of La Casita, um, and I love that too because I think that's such a cultural thing, like, we're loud, we're in each other's
Yeah.
spaces, dancing, like so he really brought that vibe.
I love how the message of the concert was, "This is a once in a lifetime. This tonight no se va a repetir. We're not gonna repeat tonight. So give it everything, enjoy every moment, love the people that you came here with." There was a moment that we were like hugging.
Another deep message is joy as resistance, right? Music, it brings us to life. I keep thinking about the collective and something about the collective healing, collective joy that existed that night. I mean, every
Mm,
Latin American country has gone through colonial trauma and having no control of these things in your surrounding, but then still finding so much joy. I think that's something about Puerto Rican people and people in the Caribbean in general is like the conditions are tough to live there. Not only is it hot, not only are there natural disasters, but there's also still a lot of like colonial power in the Caribbean, right? Or Cuba is under dictatorship. So I think there's something about even though like the conditions are tough, we still find a way to find joy. And I think that's the thing about la gente de Puerto Rico, the people from the Caribbean, Latinos in general, I think that they're just able to find that joy and use that joy as a form of protest. And I felt like that night we were
mhm.
protesting that. And I just cried during Debí Tirar Más Fotos because I think about I get emotional thinking about it, but, like, people leave their countries and they don't wanna leave, and I think about my family and, like, my parents were 21 when they left their country, and, like, I couldn't even wipe my own ass at 21. I didn't know who I was, I didn't know what I was doing, but sorry, I did not think I was gonna get this emotional, but I kept having these, like, flashbacks from when I was a little girl, and we had these family parties, and my great-grandmother was still living, and it was so beautiful and magical, and I just had all of this nostalgia for what it was like when we were young and, like, what my parents must have felt. Not to get overly political, but, like, then thinking about our country and how there's just so much hate, and I just feel so bad for people who have to leave their countries, and I feel that collective pain. Y me da mucha lástima, me da mucha nostalgia, and I feel very nostalgic from the time of when I was little and I had family parties and everyone was together because it doesn't happen like that anymore for us.
Mhm. It rarely happens for us like that as well, and also thinking about our family parties back then when we were little, and, like, again, joy through resistance because our families didn't have it easy, and they immigrated to the US and to, like, New York of all places. Like, it's hard in New York. To this day, it's hard in New York, so, they always still got together, and they sang and danced and did what they could to have fun, even though, it was hard for them for sure. I mean, they didn't even speak the language. I can't imagine. I cannot every time my mom, like, tells me again her story over and over again and about how she came when she was 21 and she had to stop, like, it wasn't a direct flight
Mm.
to New Jersey, she had to stop in Jamaica, and she was so lost, so confused, never been to an airport before, trusted a random Jamaican man with her passport, like, I don't even know what I would have done in that situation.
Yeah. And it's something incredible that music can get you there. That like
Yeah.
we're in Puerto Rico, we're in the Choli, we're with all these people and like every single person, like I shared what I was feeling in that moment, my own nostalgia, and everybody is being taken to a different place with that song and it's so beautiful. And I've seen so many people post the concert now like crying and filming themselves just like singing the song. And I was like, damn, like there was a lot of us there just feeling that, and there's something really healing, and again, like, going back to, like, the collective and the collective healing and the joy, and, you know, it wasn't just a concert, it was an experience that was very moving, for those who I can't even imagine being Puerto Rican, I'm not Puerto Rican, I can't even imagine how they're feeling,
Mhm.
but I think it was just, like, such a beautiful experience to be there, all of us together, and what unites us is, like, our cultures. Even though we're different, we're still the same, right?
Yeah, that's a and there's a part in La Mudanza where he says something about, like, "Yo soy de PR." What does he say?
Yo soy de P fucking R.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that part. When he says that, and he said, like, "Even if you're not from here, sing it with your chest. We welcome you to say that with us." And I was
Mhm.
just like, "Ooh, I love that." But I
Yeah.
did tell my friend who's going in 2 weeks, that he is Puerto Rican, and I was like, "You're gonna feel really proud to be Puerto Rican after that concert."
Yeah.
Not like you
I
they
I
you
felt
don't
proud
feel
to be
proud.
Puerto Rican. I'm not even Puerto Rican. I was like
Thank you for letting me say "Yo soy de P fucking L." tonight.
I wanna hold on to what that felt like. I wanna hold on to that feeling and that like, that message is joy is resistance because I forget that sometimes, and I
Mhm,
find myself being very pessimistic about the future, pessimistic about the news, feeling like, "What is the point? Like, why
mhm,
I don't feel like I'm a part of this country all the time. I don't feel the sentiment that, like, this government is pushing," and so I think the biggest takeaway for me is, like, take that with you and
mhm,
hold on to that magic because that is what it's all about. That is what the future is, like, finding your own joy, holding on to it, and sharing it with others so that there could be that collective healing, that collective feeling of, "We're here and we're not leaving, and you can't make us." And it felt
I've been
like, I'm so thankful we had that experience and that we did it together. I mean, there's definitely, an invisible thread between Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominicans, whether it's our food, our music, our language. And I think as a first gen, I can speak for myself. Like I often search for a home in places outside of the US, even if it's not the country necessarily where my family is from. And I do feel like I found that in Puerto Rico. And so, yeah, so joy and culture are things that we all carry with us, no matter what island or border is there. So I'm just taking with me this immense amount of joy, and I'm bringing it with me through any hard times that we may experience in the future in our home country of the US.
I know it's a good reminder to just like, okay, like maybe just go back to that like happy place when you're feeling discouraged about being in the US and because of the current events and things that are happening. Like we can go back there and be like, okay, like that's my new happy place.
Put your phone down, put some music on, and just freaking dance. Like, there
Yeah.
was dancing is therapy. So,
Mhm.
well, thank you all for listening to our Benito in Puerto Rico recap. And if you couldn't make it yourself, I do hope that you're able to catch it online and catch some videos. It was really magical. And for those of you who experienced it, I feel like we're familia forever because that
Yeah.
was a amazing experience.
Yeah. Very unique bonding experience.
Until next time, primas.
Bye.